Hi, my name is Ronaldo. My matrix number is UDE220173, and I'm gonna present my assignment on the doctrine of separate legal entity and the lifting of the corporate veil. This discussion is based on the case of Nova Biotech Solutions Sdn Berhad and the application of the Company Act 2060 together with relevant case law. I will begin with the facts. Nova Biotech Solutions is a private company. Faris is the managing director and also the majority shareholders. The company took a 2 million ringgit loan from Amanah Bank to expand its manufacturing facility. However, no proper board meeting or director solution was made before taking the loan. After receiving the money, 800,000 ringgit was transferred to another company called Faris Holdings, which is fully owned by Faris, and there was no approval from a general meeting. Later, he withdrew money as director remuneration without proper approval. Nova then faced financial problem and could not repay the loan. So the bank sued the company and tried to hold Faris personally liable. The first issue is whether Amanah Bank can rely on the doctrine of separate legal entity and enforce the loan agreement against Nova only. The doctrine of separate legal entity means that once a company is incorporated, it becomes its own legal person, separate from its shareholders and director. The company can own property, enter contract, and be sued in its own name. This principle comes from the case of Salomon v. Salomon and Company Limited. In that case, the court decided that even though Salomon controlled almost the whole company was still legally separate from him. Therefore, the company debt was not his personal debt. This shows the concept of limited liability. In this situation, the loan agreement was made in Nova names and sealed with the company common seal. Faris acted as a managing director, so from the bank point of view, he appeared to have authority. Although Nova internal rules require board approval, the failure to follow this procedure is an internal management issue. Normally, outsiders like the bank are not expected to check whether internal meetings were properly held. Because of this, the company is legally binding on Nova. The second issue is whether the company can lift the corporate veil and make Faris personally liable. Even though a company is a separate legal person, the court may ignore this in special circumstances. The corporate veil may be lifted where the company is used to fraud, improper purpose, or as a shame to hide the real person. For example, in Jones v. Lippman, a company was used to avoid a legal obligation, and the court lifted the veil in the Aspastra case. The veil was also lifted to prevent injustice involving wrongdoing. Director also have a duty to act in a good faith and in the best interest of the company, not for personal benefit. In Nova case, Faris transferred 800,000 ringgit to his own company without a proper agreement. This shows a conflict of interest and possible misuse of company funds. He also sold company assets without shareholder approval and took money as director's remuneration without authorization. This action suggests that Faris may have used Nova for his personal benefits instead of the company interest. Because of this, the court may see the company as a facade and decide to hold Faris personally responsible. Company decisions are made through board meeting and general meetings. Board meeting require proper notice, quorum, and resolutions. In this case, no proper board meeting was held, and not all directors were informed. A general meeting is needed when the company constitution requires shareholders' approval, such as for disposing of major assets. Faris sold the factory machine without this approval. This shows a breach of the company constitution and poor corporate governance. In conclusion, under the doctrine of separate legal entity, Nova is responsible for the loan owed to Amanah Bank. However, Faris' action shows possible misuse of the company for personal benefit. Because of this, the court may lift the corporate veil and hold him personally liable. His failure to follow proper meeting procedure also amount to a breach of director duty under company law. That's all from me. Thank you.